Hey guys, so this is a video that I've been planning on making for a while, um, to talk about something that has affected me greatly. Um, I've kind of been AWOL the last few weeks due to some personal issues. July 7th, I was supposed to have my baby, my second one. I am the proud mother of a beautiful little 3-year-old. She turns 4 next month. She's the light of my life. But knowing that that day was the day I was supposed to be welcoming a brand new addition to my family, and that was not going to happen. That was a hard day. So basically, I'm going to give you a little bit of information and just tell my story, and hopefully, it can give other women the confidence and the strength to tell theirs and understand it's not something you need to be quiet about. So, some quick information from statistics I've read. Even though it's not talked about, 1 in 4 women pregnancies can end in miscarriage. So far, I've been pregnant twice. So I'm one for one. I am 50%. I've had of my pregnancies. I've had 50% of them were miscarriages. Basically, 1 in 4 is not. That's a lot. That's like 25% of pregnancies end in miscarriages, and those are the known pregnancies. So I'm just going to tell a little bit about my story. I'm sorry if I get emotional. That's just a little hard because my daughter, she knew I was pregnant and she was so excited to be a sister, and every single day she asked for a baby, and the fact that I don't have one to give to her and I was supposed to have one so she could be a big sister hurts. It's that reminder that I feel like I failed in some way, but I know I didn't. I know I didn't. It's not my fault. It's no one's fault if they have a miscarriage. It's just something that happens and there's no explanation. So let me tell you a little bit. Um, I have not the only one, I guess, I found out. And this is how badly miscarriage is not communicated. Until I lost my baby, I was not aware that my grandmother on my mother's side, my mother's mom, had a miscarriage. I was not aware that my other grandmother, my father's mom, had miscarriages. I was not aware that one of my cousins had a miscarriage. I was not aware that one of my aunts went through this. It is surprisingly shocking how common this is in my own family. One of my grandmothers had at least 4 miscarriages. 4. And I wasn't aware of it until she decided to share her experiences with me. And I think if we speak about it and make it so that people are aware that it's not something to be ashamed about, that it's actually pretty common. It's hard, but it happens. So basically, I'm just going to give my story. My husband and I decided, okay, 3 years was going to be perfect to have another child. So, in October of last year, I stopped taking my birth control. And we went to Mexico that month and had a great time meeting my mother-in-law for the first time and some of my family. And I get back and just having normal symptoms. Period didn't come. That's normal for me. I'm usually very irregular. Sometimes I'm late. So I just ignored it. It comes late, no big deal. I wasn't expecting to get pregnant that quick after just stopping my birth control. So a few weeks go by, I started having these weird feelings and started getting nauseous. So I decided to double check, and lo and behold, birth pregnancy test comes back positive. I was so excited. I didn't tell my husband right away. I went and bought a shirt for my daughter that says "Best Sister Ever." I was that excited, and that's how I was going to break the news to him because we 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 had a hard time getting pregnant with my daughter. So I went and picked her up from daycare. I knew he was home. I volunteered to pick her up that day because I wanted to be surprised. Put that shirt on her. Said Maya. Go through the door. Go show daddy your shirt. We get home and I'm like, hey Zeus, Maya, go show your daddy your new shirt. And she goes up to him and it's his best sister ever. And my husband loves kids. He sees babies and little kids and he is down on their level. He adores kids and babies and he will just talk to them and carry them around, and he's great with kids. And he got so excited. He looked at her, and English isn't his first language. He's a Spanish speaker, and the shirt was English. And he looked at it, and he looked, and he's like sounding it out because he has to do that. And it finally hit him what it meant. And he looks at me, and he's like, "Really, really, you pregnant? Really you pregnant?" And I said, "Yes, I'm pregnant. Maya's going to be a sister." And based on my math, I'm due July, which is great because my daughter, her birthday's the day before mine. We're August babies, and I thought it'd be cool if this baby was born the day before his, because he's a July baby. And he comes up to me and he's just so excited. He gives me this biggest hug and kisses me, and he's just so excited. He's like, "I can't believe you're pregnant." And he just starts rubbing my tummy, and Maya's rubbing my tummy, and she's talking to the baby, and I tell my family, and we just let people know Maya's going to be a sister. We're excited. She's excited. She named the baby JoJo. So we have now little baby JoJo, and she would talk to baby JoJo and give him I feel like it was a him, give him kisses every day and say, "I'm just so excited." Um, and I was excited. I mean, the morning sickness sucked. I hated it. It was horrible. But it was worth it because I was going to get that prize in the end, that new baby for our family. People at work knew, and patients of mine, because I worked in a clinic, they were excited for me because they could see. I had to tell them. They could hear me throwing up in the bathroom, so I had to tell them I'm not contagious. I'm pregnant. And the week before Christmas, my youngest brother almost died. He got really sick. He was in intensive care for a while, so I was under a lot of stress. Running around to the hospital to see him, and I was still pregnant, still having symptoms, still nauseous, still tired, still just regular first trimester symptoms, hungry. And thankfully, my brother pulled through. He was going to be he was discharged from the hospital Christmas Eve, which is great. He was going to be home to celebrate Christmas with the family. And I went to the midwife at the clinic I work at, and I said, "You know what? I had a hard week. I almost lost my baby brother. And I've just been stressed out with the holidays. Based on you and my calculations, I should be 12 weeks now. Let's try and hear the heartbeat." Because normally they don't start OB care at my clinic until you're 12 weeks because there's nothing to hear before then. And she's amazing because she loves her job. She loves being a midwife. So we went in and she got that little scanner out, and we tried to listen to the heartbeat. We didn't hear anything. And she's like, "Well, maybe the baby's just in the back, maybe your uterus is tilted," something like that. And she's like, "But if you want, I can order an ultrasound." I don't know what made me say yes. Let's do it. I swear to God, I think I knew there was something amiss. I don't know. But I feel like I knew in some way. I'm just not sure. So I said, "Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Order me the ultrasound. I'll head over to the hospital right now. My husband's in town. I'll just call him and we can go together because I think he should be there to see our baby for the first time with me." So I call him like, "Hey Zeus, let's go to the hospital. I'm going to get an ultrasound done. I mean, it's 12 weeks. It's just..." So I pick him up. We go to the hospital. And we're excited. It's like, "Oh, we're going to get to see the baby. Everything should be fine." I mean, I was trying to be positive. I mean, she wasn't worried. I wasn't worried. And then we go in and lay down, and he's holding my hand, and you know they put that gel on your stomach, and the tech passes over it. And she's like, how far are you? I said, I'm 12 weeks. She's like, are you sure you're 12 weeks? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I'm 12 weeks. What do you mean? You can't see anything? Am I not pregnant? Am I just making this up? Is this a phantom pregnancy? And she's like, no, there's something in there. But it's not measuring 12 weeks. I'm like, what do you mean? It's measuring 6 weeks. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, and there's no heartbeat. What? And now here's the thing. My husband, since his first language is English, he couldn't understand everything. But he saw my face. And I had to explain it to him in Spanish, and his face just fell. And I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, there's no heartbeat. And she showed me the picture on the screen where the little baby was, how it's measuring 6 weeks. And she said, yeah, and I know, I've seen ultrasounds. There should be that little heartbeat even if it was 6 weeks. So I told him, my husband's like, the baby's not there. The baby's not there. And he was like, what do you mean the baby's not there? Is there nothing you can do? Is there? I was like, hey, my baby, honey, the baby's gone. I was supposed to be measuring 12 weeks. I was supposed to be 12 weeks, and the baby's measuring 6 weeks. So we went back to the clinic, and they sent the results over, and my midwife was, I mean, she's my coworker. We work together every day. She let me cry. She laid out my options, what to do, which my options were wait and let my body take care of it itself, do a D&C, or induce the miscarriage. And she's like, if you want, you can do another ultrasound in a few days just to make sure. I knew the baby wasn't there. I've seen enough ultrasounds that I know what to see. But we did another ultrasound to make my husband feel better. And then we went to that, and with the same results. So after that second ultrasound, I talked to my midwife, and I said, you know what? If the baby's measuring 6 weeks and I'm supposed to be 12 weeks, I'm still having the symptoms. I don't want to do an D&C. Let's induce the miscarriage. Because honestly, I did not want to be walking around not knowing when that miscarriage was going to start. Technically, I didn't know how much it was going to hurt. I didn't want to, for example, be at work and all of a sudden it happens. I didn't want to be home with my baby and all of a sudden it starts. I didn't want to scare her or go through that. So I said, you know what, let's do it this way. That way I can send my baby, my daughter, to my mother's, and I can just take that week to myself and go through the process, me and my husband. And that's what we did. She gave me the medication. I administered it. I went home, and I went through that process of the miscarriage. And one reason I decided to do that is not just because I didn't want to be surprised of when it's going to happen, is for a couple things. It was hard going home for Christmas with my family and everyone knowing I had the miscarriage and still having the pregnancy symptoms, still having nausea, still having vomiting, headache, everything. I remember punching the walls a couple of times after just bouts of morning sickness and dry heaves because I was so angry. I was so angry. Why am I still suffering with these symptoms when there's nothing exciting in the end? I'm suffering for nothing. So the sooner I could start that miscarriage, the sooner hopefully my hormones could get back to normal so I wouldn't go through that. Another reason is I felt like if I had that miscarriage, it would be the closest I could have to actually kind of birthing the baby. I didn't want to do with the D&C. So we went through that process. took a few days from work, and thankfully everyone was understanding and supportive with that process. But it's still hard. It's still very hard knowing that I should have another baby right now. Today's the 20th of July. It's hard knowing that my due date was the 7th. That's it's it's hard, and parts of me feel like I failed, and parts of me feel anger. How did I not know? How, as a mother, how did I not know I lost that baby 6 weeks sooner? Why did I not know? Why? Did I just why? So I feel like miscarriage needs to be talked about because it is a big possibility that it can happen to a woman at any time of her childbearing days. The women who don't have any miscarriages, you're lucky. And the women that do, and when you do have those children, you appreciate them. I appreciated my daughter before, I appreciate her now. But now I have that question, and people ask me, how many children do I have? And I have to think about it. Because I consider I have two. And then if they ask that question, how old? Do I say that one's 3 years old and the other one's in heaven? I think that might be the best way to do it. Because I don't want to just say I have one and not respect the child I lost. So I feel like things for me have changed a big deal after going through a miscarriage. And I want people to know that they can talk about it if they need to. If you're one of those people who don't feel like you need to, don't worry about it. But I don't want it to continue being something so taboo amongst women, because we need to support each other. And I found that sometimes talking about these things helps rather than make quiet. So that's just my little video about my experience with it. We are hoping to have another child. It's a process, but I'm also scared because I don't want it to happen again. So sorry for a little bit of a depressing video, but I wanted to give my story. That way people can understand a little bit more. But I am thankful. I have my daughter, and I will always love my baby that I lost. My baby JoJo.